Well, firstly, I prepared for it as if any other audition, except there was one main difference. I was auditioning for a minor demon. So I did a little bit of research, and it turns out Michael Dougherty had made an animated short featuring Sam, and that was a lot of fun to watch. I got to learn a lot about the character that way, and then as I was about to leave the audition, I thought to myself, maybe there's a little extra I could do. So I come back in, and I asked Mike, since he was there, do you want me to do something I think Sam would do? And he said, sure. So I bent down, started petting a cat that wasn't there, and then, all of a sudden, pick it up by the tail and walk away. And there is some artwork of Sam reaching after a cat, so it's a little bit of an Easter egg.
Happy Halloween.
Didn't you get one?
So when Sam grabs the chocolate bar from Principal Wilkins' house, right before he goes to Krieg's house, he pulls it, and then he drags his bag down the stairs, and you can hear a thump thump and what might just be the sound of a cat. The same cat from the audition. You never know. Before ever hearing about the role, I would kind of, as a kid, see the clothing stores with the mannequins, and they would stand there in the window, but I was about 5 years old at this point, and I would just stand next to the mannequins perfectly still. And it would actually fool a couple people because they're like, a 5-year-old never stands that still, until I wasn't standing still anymore, and then I'd be able to scare a couple people. So that kind of control, I guess, control over character, combined with indulging the juvenile impulses at the same time. There's like a little bit of a balance there.
What the hell's your problem?
That, with the thought of demon behind it, is kind of where I landed with my mental process. And I was 7 at the time, so that was mainly what was going through my head is, you know, jump scaring people, being a little bit, you know, impulsive, and then demon. It was a little bit strange and a little bit natural to be in Sam's costume because on one hand, I wasn't myself. But on the other hand, I had a lot of fun not being myself. Being the demon, jumping out and scaring people, running around. And I was short because I was 7 years old, so people could lose track of me. But not too much because I was wearing orange. But it was a lot of fun to just jump out, scare people. You know, like the whole bubble head for Sam, it was almost like a scuba helmet with like a pillowcase over top, if I were to try and briefly explain it. But it was a very comfy costume. It kept me warm in the wintertime when we'd film it too, because there were so many shots where we had to make it look like autumn, but we're in the middle of winter in Vancouver and like filming in and around Vancouver in BC, in Canada. And sometimes they just had to shovel the snow off the sides of the shot, and I would have to get out of my snow boots for the day to then run around in the little footsie jumpsuit. And, you know how it is, just run around, stab people. Because there's both the masked and the unmasked versions of Sam, you had the standard one at the very beginning of the movie, and then, of course, for close-up shots, you have to do the double layer burlap, otherwise you're gonna see, like, my eyes and mouth. So there's a flashback scene where there's Sam. Depending on the shot that we were taking, it would either be a single layer of burlap, a double layer of burlap. So there were all these little subtle costume changes, and also there's even, like, the 1-patch and the 2-patch version of the jumpsuit because of the whole Krieg's house encounter. Oh, especially the animatronic head. When he's finally demasked, and you have the Sam head with the eyes and the mouth. I cannot see through any of that. So any scene where Sam is walking, I am pretty much going like this, but with my arms just kind of at my sides, just being mindful of it and just following someone's voice. And there might have been, I'm not sure, a couple of takes where I just walk off. I actually don't know. But we didn't get it in one take, I'll just say that, I'm pretty sure. Like, even just the whole Krieg's house, from the walking out from behind the bed after hamstringing him, and then revealing the blade in the candy bar. It's so much fun to just do that, and getting the framing right for the camera and just peeling it back. I love doing that as a 7-year-old, you have no idea. The same scene where peeling back the chocolate bar to reveal the razor blade, behind is when I was watching the camera from Video Village, like the explosion of the pumpkin, just so it erupts in flames and then lights up the whole room with blood written on the walls everywhere. It was something to behold. We shot some of it on location and some of it in studio. Perhaps some of the most fun that I had on that set, the point where Krieg flicks the light on, looking up the stairs, and I run across. That's actually me up there running across, and the light bulb explodes. That was a lot of fun to do. I think that was probably one of the only stunts that they let me do. Beyond that, the actual throwing, fists and getting thrown against the wall and crawling on the ceiling. There were some safety concerns about a 7-year-old doing that, and in hindsight it makes sense, but at the time I was like, damn, wish I could have done that. Well, the popularity for this film is like no other that I know of. It started with a DVD release, and the really crazy stuff is when I heard that Spirit Halloween Shop actually had like a whole animatronic Sam figurine for your front lawn that would do like this little motion like that. And it was in like its own little section. I'm like, are you kidding? That's just surreal. I don't know what to say to that. Every time I go to a convention, it's always, the thing that I look forward to is to meet the people, especially if I haven't met them before, and just see all of the new things that they make to celebrate the movie that they love so much. It's really heartwarming and a really good feeling to go and be able to make their day and thus make my day.